1 o'clock, and we're here to discuss the ambulance purchases. I called this meeting because I went and talked to Shell. I had this discussion with him regarding this, and then we also have our attorney that's going to go down and speak to the ambulance board outside on executive session on how the purchasing went and who's got the contract and who signed the contract, because it all has to be done through here. The other thing is I know that's the importance of the 2 ambulances, the 4 ambulances, and we're looking at 7 years, right? A 7-year loan.
Yes.
And so when you take, one of my biggest concerns, you take the 7-year loan and you got 4 ambulances, it's almost, are you cross-collateralizing them all, or are you individually purchasing each one? Are they the separate loan, or are they cross-collateralized?
You could probably do it either way, but the quotes I got were all one loan.
Okay. See, because one of the things is, if you do the cross-collateralization, you get an ambulance down the road in 7 years and it's no good, you're going to play heck getting the title for it. So if you do, see what I'm saying? Because if you run the whole 7 years and they're cross-collateralized, you don't get you won't get the title because it's all in one lump. So if it was if they were individual loans, then you would be able to pay one off as you go, instead of putting a whole bunch of money towards it and then all 4 of them are still on the hook. So, but anyway, Commissioner Cowles, you had some questions?
Well, I had asked Scott in our previous, and they'd sent an email back with answers to a lot of the questions, because I was confused. I was thinking, well, geez, that's a lot of ambulances for Shoshone County. I didn't realize that you guys had that thought of, well, no, we want to sell some if we can,
right.
Or
yeah, we have 4 of them for sure the mechanics. Chief Miller just went to the mechanic. He can give you a little bit more update on the ambulances, but we're just having a hard time keeping them on the road. They're worn out and they're always breaking down. And so yeah, those ones we will get rid of.
Yeah.
We won't get much for them because it's not worth very much, but at least we won't keep them.
Right. It wasn't.
And then all
of
the medical supplies that are on those ambulances, the gurneys, the radios,
they transfer over.
Take all of that and put it on the new.
Now, my other question on that is, we've got those 2 Hortons that are out there, and they were due 6 months after they were, or maybe within, they've been pushing us along this whole time. So how does the grant look?
The grant's fine because the state understands that the build time on ambulances is extended. So about every 6 months, I just have to email the grant folks in Boise that the money's still in the bank account and give them an update on the process. So we're still fine with that.
Okay, so the grant's not
in jeopardy.
Okay.
And we're still anticipating those arriving late summer or early fall this year. But the Hortons, those 2 Hortons. Yeah. Okay. But that grant's, we're not in jeopardy of losing that grant money.
Okay. And my other confusion, because naturally newer at this, but was you did have one other new ambulance that came this year, right?
So yeah, there was a new ambulance, a new Horton that they got right before I started. So that one's 3 years old now?
That was April of 2023.
And then we got another one this last fall.
Yeah, the
and
one that's 28,000 miles. The last time it was.
Yeah, it currently has 31,375.
Yeah, so that's the new one.
Yeah, and that one we kind of jumped on pretty quick. Because I actually had contacted Braun to just start the process of trying to figure out how much, their ambulances are going forward in the build cycle, and he just happened to have an ambulance, a demo ambulance that was available within a couple of weeks. He's like, if you sign the documents right away, if it's okay with the board, you can get this within a few weeks. Actually, I think we got it within a month or 2. But that's unusual.
Right.
Most of the time right now when you're ordering an ambulance, you're 2 to 3 years from the delivery date.
And that was a demo ambulance, that's why. I remember that. Okay. Okay, does the board want to go around and talk about whether you're for or against purchasing the ambulance? Is everybody on the board okay with purchasing the ambulance?
The last two.
I don't think we have a choice, because one, ours is wearing out so bad, like they said. Two, one life is worth how many ambulances?
Mhm.
You know, we had, during COVID, we had one breakdown on a transfer over in Montana.
Mhm.
So they had to bring somebody else and get the patient to where they're going. You know, we're just lucky a family didn't sue the county for that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
So you guys are okay with the $140,000 a year payment, right, with your budget?
We have, like Jim said, we're not buying these because we want to have pretty ambulances running around. We need them.
Yeah.
As he said, some broke over in Montana, but I believe about 6 weeks ago, one broke down on the way to Cooney on the top of the pass.
Mm-hmm.
The lady's daughter was behind the ambulance when it pulled over and stopped. She thought her mother had died, so she was really upset. She got up there and it just broke down.
Okay.
They had to wait for another one to come from and take her all the way over.
Okay.
The two that we purchased that are coming in a couple more years, we didn't have a whole lot of time to order those, because if we ordered them when we did before the 1st of January, we saved between 60 and 80,000 a piece on each one. And they put so many miles on. I mean, we've been over to the route of Hiawatha 2 or 3 times this year already.
Yeah, I think at least 8 times.
Pritchard Murray got 8 times. Okay. Pritchard Murray don't have a volunteer ambulance right now, so department, they got the ambulances, but nobody to run. So now we're running up clear to Pritchard Murray when they need problems. I mean, we're going all over the place, and we're putting miles on. And as county, you people have an obligation, according to state code, to be sure and have decent ambulance services for the residents and citizens of Shoshone County.
I
And
know.
I know
don't
we're
have
all
an
hurting for money and
ambulance
stuff,
with
but I believe you guys have 2.5 million in your, I believe you call it lettuce fund, Dave. And if you could, if we get in a bind or you don't want to get the loan, you could maybe give us some of that, because that's for purchasing of vehicles. That's one of the things I understand you're allowed to do with that money. And not.
Well, one of the other things I'd like to tell you about that is you're a separate taxing district. So if we do that for you, then we'd have to do it for the fire department. We'd have to do it for the cities and everything else. So
Understand,
that's
but
the problem we
it's a
run
need.
into.
You've got to put your priorities in
So-
order. And
So you said that the other 2 ambulances aren't coming for 2 years?
no, they're not. So we're still going to have.
I thought they were coming next
No, no.
spring.
Yeah, there. No, we have 2 that are coming this fall
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
2 that are coming next spring.
yeah,
That's right.
So all
Yeah.
coming in the next
We'll have
budget.
right,
Another-
next budget.
Another, at least 1, maybe 2 taxing checks come in too. So we'll be able to, that'll help too. We might not have to, might be able to pay off early, might be able to pay off better. I don't know. You know?
Okay.
And I do have one question. When you guys took all the money away and put it from us and put it in your account, and then all of a sudden we didn't have the same amount as we had. I'd kind of like to know how much we gave you to start with, and then what happened to it, if it's all gone or not, because we were doing fine, we thought, and then all of a sudden we don't have any.
Well, I think I talked to Shell, and he talked to the gentleman that did your books before, and they did find where there was $1 million that they thought that was reoccurring revenue, and they made the mistake by putting it in as reoccurring revenue. So you thought you had that as revenue
I didn't
each
know
year.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
Yeah,
Because
Well, this is
when
the county,
you guys
and
started,
yeah.
you assumed we took $3.2 million away also, and you found it, so we didn't. Or else I'd be in Jamaica right now on the phone with you guys instead of on the Emmons board up here. I mean, it could have just been moved, but I mean, I understand that, you know, you want to save that 2.5 as much as you can for rainy days, but there's only so much you can use it for, I'm assuming. And yeah, I know you can't use it for wages. So, you know, you might want to be able to help us out once in a while, or the police officers or anybody else that
Yeah, we're doing that.
comes up
Well,
short.
yeah, I mean, we got a roof we got to replace over there.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but like Jim said, what do you, human life, if somebody can't get to where they need to go because we screwed up, and then you know?
Any other further questions? Anybody else comment?
I've got a few things as it pertains. One of the things that we haven't been able to historically do since 2015-16 was have enough newer ambulances to be able to rotate them, to have less miles on each, or to share the mileage with multiple vehicles, to help with maintenance, help with the longevity. You know, these two new ones we have, or I guess they're not new, the newest ones that we have, they're our primary unit, so they're running nonstop. They're averaging 3,500 miles a month. Up and down the highway, Hiawatha, everywhere, getting wear and tear, and we have to keep using them because the next one with the less
The
miles,
third and fourth out.
I think 147,000 miles on it is the next one. That's the 2016 because it has a rebuilt engine because they get wear and tear so bad they rebuild them. And so by having more, we're going to be able to, hey, let's give this one a break and start using this one for a while to make the life a lot longer in each one. That's something we haven't had the opportunity.
And so with the 4 of them, you'd be able to do that.
And we have Evan here, and Evan's the past 3 or 4 months, he's gotten to take a good look at every single ambulance that we have. And if he's got a moment, I would love for him to tell the board what kind of shape all these ambulances are in, how they look, even the new ones.
Right. We'll start with that new one, V12 in Osborne. You know, yesterday, now it's got suspension problems as of right now, because we are running them rapid. My biggest fear now is we're using those for transports because they are the most reliable ambulances we have. V7 and V9, which are the older ones, are first out then, once those are off district. And those V7 and V9, the trucks themselves are holding up fairly decent. They are getting abused. It's the box where the patients are. They're getting abused and actually separating from the cabs. The aluminum's starting to deteriorate. Doors aren't opening. Stuff like that.
No, how many ambulances is that happening to right now? 2. 2 of them?
2. Yeah.
And those are the 2 oldest ones?
Yeah. And we've been using those more and more every week.
Okay. So if you think if you got 4 new ambulances, you could probably, how long, they're going to have to last 7.5 years, or you can pay them off earlier.
Kind of the average, and again, it's a little bit harder here because we're off road so much. But most places in ambulances, you figured about 10 years of lifespan.
I noticed that you guys purchased Super Duties which you have to, but you also did the Super Cab.
Yeah, that was just because the Braun boxes are a little bit smaller than the Hortons, and there wasn't as much storage, and so their fix to that is get the Super Cab, and then they take out the back seat and they put shelving in behind the seat. It's just for more storage.
Okay, so the Brauns are smaller.
The boxes are smaller.
Okay.
And they're on a lot smaller. They're on an F450 chassis where the Hortons are on an F550.
Okay.
So
they're a lot
chassis,
lighter.
yeah.
The Brauns are a lot lighter. Okay.
And we're still trying to, the state of Idaho gives up, I'm not sure how many ambulances a year. Is it 10?
It varies year to year to year.
And we apply every year to get a free one if we can.
Yeah, we did not get it this year.
No, we haven't been able to get one for quite a while. When I was first on the EMS board down in Kellogg, when I first come on board up here, we got 2 years in a row, and they thought that was amazing, 2 brand new ones.
Yeah.
But we're in a catch-21 situation, catch-22. We can afford to buy them now, so we can't just have them for free. Like, I think that's part of our problem.
Okay.
If we were down and out, worse than we already are, that maybe we'd have a better shot at it. But when we try every grant there's possible, we're not just sitting back and trying to spend money.
So right now it would be about $800,000 is what the loan would, or the lease would be.
Yeah, I didn't have the exact amount.
It was like 800.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
approximately that.
Okay.
And if I could add,
Yeah.
if we do end up getting all 4 of them, it's definitely going to help now that we have a maintenance program to keep on top of the wear and tear that these new ones will get versus the older ones who kind of got left behind a little bit. So as far as maintenance, upkeep, things like that.
Yeah, we really didn't have a preventative maintenance program. It was when it broke, we fixed it. Where now we
You have.
Or preventative maintenance up front.
Now, what do you guys do at your stations? What kind of program do you have where they check the oil, they check the maintenance, and how
So,
is it an app?
Yes, none of the guys are trained mechanics. I mean, we're not hiring mechanics, we're hiring people that we firefight.
Well, they can check the oil.
So, but they do the basic oil check stuff. It's done at least every other day, because they do the 48-hour shift. So when they come on the shift, they'll check the oils and the fluids and all that. Look at the tires, make sure that they look like they're safe to operate. And then we rely on Evan to do more of a thorough kind of just evaluation of it. And then that's all being logged. We have one software program where we log all of our stuff for the fire district, and there's a portion of that is the mechanic checks that they log.
Okay, and I know there's an app out. I've got a brother that's retiring after 30 some years, and they have an app where they go through all their checks. They do a check, they do a check in the morning when they first come on, and then when they get off the shift that day, everything has to be on there. The oil, everything has to be checked. So the guys in the morning, they have to go through the same check. And it's just a software. It's an app.
We're
wondering.
doing something very similar through a different program. It's not. I mean, they technically can do it on their phone because it's mobile or computer, but they're charging it through the software program.
Okay, so you're doing that too. So okay. Any public comment? Do you have any public comment? No. Okay.
So if you guys break down on the highway, like there's liability that you guys get open to if the ambulance.
I guess you can get
On Zoom, so.
anything nowadays, but
Anybody can sue anybody anytime, anywhere, anyway. So.
Interesting. Do they make, and this is just my own edification, do they make vehicles that are like not ambulances for like transport? Like, could you like outfit like a minivan or something where it was like, hey, this guy's stable. We're just taking him from Shoshone to Kootenai, so then it's not miles on your ambulance, but miles on like maybe something that's not that. I don't know. I was just curious.
I think they do have those. I just don't. Obviously, the feasibility.
Okay, that's
Where
fair.
it's at now, we're already been abused sometimes for taxi rides anyway.
That's fair.
The other complication with those is the state sets the amount of equipment that we have to carry in the ambulance. There's a specific amount of equipment, and those smaller units, you have to get really creative to be able to hold all the equipment that the state requires, and then that reduces the amount of space you have to actually work on the patient.
Okay.
So it's possible, but it's not the best practice.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that'd be another new rig we'd have to buy.
Maybe it costs less. I don't know.
It'd be cheaper than ambulance, but then.
Yeah.
Any further questions?
I don't know what questions I missed. Those came in 7 minutes.
Oh, this is regarding the 4 ambulances.
Right. Did we get an explanation on why the extra 2 that we weren't aware of the other day?
Yeah, they're talking about it right now, why they need the 4.
Have they already ordered them?
You've ordered
All four
of them. And they put $60,000 down on the 2 bronze.
On each. Yeah,
Each
we
bronze.
basically purchased
61.
the chassis for the 2 bronze.
Mm-hmm.
And I did reach out to Braun to find out if we were to pull out what the process is, and their basic response is, well, the chassis are ours. They don't have to build the ambulances, but we now would be responsible to do something with the chassis. They're our chassis at this point.
And you said the Hortons are coming this fall.
Yes.
Okay. So we're kind of a catch-22.
They are already in the build process with the Hortons.
But this fall they're going to be here.
Mhm.
Okay. That's what they said.
And one
2
of
years
those is
ago.
where it's partially being funded by the grant.
Yeah.
And the other one's being paid by however we decide to pay for it.
Okay. And who signed who signed the contract on those on getting the ambulances? And
I don't know who signed the initial. Actually,
The last
I can't remember if I was here when the grant came, but otherwise I've signed all of them at the
Okay.
direction of the board. of the advisory board.
okay. All right.
So for clarity, and I apologize for being late, so I may have missed this, but we had approved 2, but you guys approved 2 more as a board.
Yeah,
Because of the deal.
the deal,
Which-
we had a short limited time to approve them, or the price was gonna go up. between 60 to 80,000 each, if not more.
And
So
when we got the quote, we found out they were Braun was raising their prices, I think it was January 1st. And if we didn't sign by a particular date, they would be more expensive if we waited.
And I don't believe we found out till our third week of December. And if we waited till after January, it was gonna cost us 80,000 more than we knew we needed them, so we got them with the deal.
So that time, I think the budget had capital funds in there that made it
Yeah, they've,
happen until all of a sudden it wasn't there.
yeah, and then
That
Timmy,
was my thought too. I thought we had the money.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
then all of a sudden it's gone.
Now it's gone, and now here we are.
So I thought,
And I don't understand that, where the money,
I didn't either.
I don't think
I'm
anybody-
confused about it now.
well,
It was a projected, it was projected through grants. They were showing up as like a reoccurring
yeah, we'd have to
on the
have to
budget.
have the auditor Timmy to come in and
Yeah.
explain it more.
Yeah,
Okay, another thing on the bank lease. I know our auditor or our treasurer wants to check with our bank to see if they can get a better rate. Have you-
And
Could you talk to
guys,
her?
which bank are you guys, is it?
is it Columbia? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I reached out to, I think it was 4 different banks. I don't remember what, I'd have to go get the list. I only brought you guys the
Oh.
best 2 rates.
Yeah.
But I reached out to 4.
I think
Okay.
Yeah.
She might have a better.
That's
You're
fine.
right.
better
I have
rate.
no problem with that. I mean,
If
we
we
get a
can
better
do it,
rate.
Give
Let's
us
get a
a
better
deal.
rate.
So if you talk to her too, to make sure that, okay.
And that's Carrie.
Yep.
and I know that Brittany wanted to meet with the advisory board too.
Yeah, she's on the agenda. I think, for next-
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to figure out how we're gonna bring this, how this is gonna look and how it's gonna,
Mhm.
come out, so.
mhm.
So we have before us 4 ambulances and they have in their budget $140,000 a year for 7 years. And like I said, the only thing I'm concerned about is
Right, all of them together.
they're all lumped together and we're not able to pay one off and get the title and pay another off and get the title.
but they've already ordered them.
Yeah,
So either we lose $120,000,
122.
$122,000, or we go with the loan of $800 and pay them off. And they'll pay $140,000 a year, roughly.
And now in that budget, if you were to do the loan, are you still going to have a little wiggle room to be able to save a little for in the future for more ambulances, even though you're paying on that loan?
I mean, yeah.
Will you?
Budget's zero. Even with that, we cut tons of stuff out of the budget just to be able to afford that. And so, yeah, we're
Is it stuff that I mean, is it
training and yes, I mean, we've cut everything we could cut out.
Mhm.
There's not any wiggle room.
what did you cut? Can I
I'd
ask?
have
What
to
you cut?
actually go back and look at the document, but we cut parts of, not like full line items, but we cut money from lots of little line items to just cut the dollar amount. But I know I think the biggest one you will see maybe impact to patient care is all the training budget. I think once I got the loan values back, I added a little bit back in that budget because we were kind of guessing at first because we didn't know what the loan was going to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's a lot of
There's none.
But
Yeah.
part of that's not all due to the ambulance loan. That was also due to the fact that we were operating on the assumption that we were bringing in more money than we were actually bringing.
Mhm.
So it was kind of twofold.
Mhm.
Why we had to cut. Part of it was we were over budgeted, and part of it
Right.
was now we have to make up the ambulance loan.
Now, how's the new fees going when you guys are out there charging for new fees? I mean, are you getting more?
We don't know yet because of how insurance and everything rate and how everybody pays out. It takes a long time to actually see that income. I don't think we'll really know for another year how much
more revenue.
raising our rates
Okay.
really affected,
Mhm.
just because of how EMS billing and recruitment works. So that's still an unknown at this point.
So how's your billing up from this year to last year? I mean,
I haven't actually compared yet.
okay.
And then the other thing that we should be getting this next year is the GEMT, which is it's tied to Medicare transport funds. It's something that's been in the works for years, where our state's already approved the project. We've just been waiting for the federal government to approve it all. Well, our first reports are actually due in August, so this is actually being funded. And from everybody we've talked to, even with all the cuts they're having federally, doesn't look like anything's going to affect this program. Again, nothing's for sure till we get the check.
Right.
But they are anticipating, just with the rough numbers and stuff that we've sent them, that was it $60,000 or $80,000 that we will get this next year for that program. But we didn't put that in the budget.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that. Okay.
Did you guys have any discussion on procedure, like ordering the ambulances without us all talking ahead of time? Or did I miss that, or did you?
No, we didn't. No.
Okay.
I know Brittany's going to go over
Brittany's going to go over and discuss it. That's where. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
This is just discussion today.
Yeah.
With everybody, right? I mean, that's what this.
Yeah, we don't have a.
No, I mean it shows that, but
action
this
item.
is
Okay.
but this is just discuss
Okay.
ambulance purchases.
All right.
Yeah, I think that goes back to the capital expenditures and the L2 being signed with those capital expenditures dollar amount in there that was not in there.
Yeah, but that's because they projected it as well. I know that. Okay. All right.
One of the things on the ordering of them is we can place the orders and this and that, but there is also in there, if for some reason we cannot buy them, receive them, whatever, there is no penalty for calling them up and saying we don't want them, because they got them sold as soon as they got them built anyway. And so there was no issue there. That's one of the things that they checked into when the quote came in and when everything was discussed. So, but we could lock them in so that they weren't ours if we had the money. And we could save that price. So.
Now I'm confused. Because I got an email, because
I had no discussion with the manufacturers about what the process would be if we canceled the orders ahead of time.
Oh, so you never
So
had
that
it.
was not not initially when we ordered them.
Okay. So
So
yeah, they
it's
didn't.
possible that we can or can't get our money back?
Well, the money that we spent for the 2 chassis, we cannot get that money back. We would get the chassis, and then it would be up to us to figure out what we're going to do with 2 chassis that don't have an ambulance box on them.
Yeah.
The one Horton, we can, if we back out of that, we lose the loan. I mean, we lose the grant.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't even discuss that, and I actually didn't even reach out. I have not reached out to Horton about that second one from them. What that would be, but that ambulance is further along than the Braun ambulances. So I'm sure I'm assuming, again, I haven't asked them, that we're probably locked into that one as well.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys have any other further questions? Do you want to?
Not at this time.
No.
Okay. Do you want to make a decision today, or do you want to think about it?
I would say let them meet with Brittany.
Okay.
And
On
then
the
we
21st?
can all,
Okay.
or whoever can come from the advisory board
Okay.
for the.
So she's got an executive session with you on the 21st? Okay. All right, and then we can make our decision after
Well,
that.
plus Carrie, our treasurer, we gotta
if you
meet with. I mean,
Stop
there's
by
some
Carrie,
other-
she asked me today, because she might get a better deal since we have. Okay, appreciate it. Anything further?
got a couple questions.
Okay.
If I can ask them. What is so the first one was you obviously found out that the legality side, the county can take out a loan for this.
It's not a loan, it's a lease.
A lease.
Yeah, and that's the
legal manipulation.
the legal, yeah, well, not, yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Lack of better
Yeah.
words.
Making it work.
Mm-hmm.
What is the proper procurement procedure then? Maybe I'm not understanding it. Is because they're an advisory board, correct? So any of these purchases, are they required to come to you for them? Or if they have the money in their capital budget, they can't just make those decisions on their own? They have to come from you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like any other elected official, like the sheriff's office next door. If they want to do a capital purchase, or the roads department, it all has to come before the board because it's a certain amount that's over. It's an Idaho state law.
Gotcha.
In Idaho state laws, I understand the resolution, but no resolution that we can make can supersede the Idaho state code. So that's the hard point that we're having right now. So, okay, anything else? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.